You have to love how when I start a video and look at myself and thinking like, wow, my face is so swollen that I look high. I'm not high, but that's okay. It's part of life with lupus. So my day today, as a person with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and lupus, like having one thing on your schedule is like, we'll see how that goes, right? And then you look at like 2 days forward and you're like, oh my God, there's one thing on schedule for each day. And you remember back to before you got sick, and there'd be like 3 appointments on a day, and you'd be like, oh, it's a rough day, but I'll get through it. And now, like, I look at a day that has an appointment on it, and I'm just like, okay, so pretty much the 2 to 3 days after that, I will, be tired and in pain and sleeping for most of the time because that's how my body responds now. Um, and so, yeah, I did my son's surgery follow up today, and then we had to go get dog food, and then we had to pick up everybody's medicine. And by the time we got home, we'd been gone for like 4 hours. And I literally felt like I ran into a wall, like done, tired. And I just wanted to eat my lunch because my stomach was grumbling. But at the same time, my brain was like, no, I don't want to eat lunch. I just want to go lay down. So I did eat lunch, which because I have to. And then I rested. And when I woke up from resting, hi DC, like even I was trying to explain to Silas, my oldest son, I'm like, my toes hurt. Like, it's not just that, like, oh, my legs hurt, oh, my body hurts. Bubba, please stop. Like, my toes hurt. Like, this, how stupid is that? So, yeah, I laid in bed tonight and I finished reading a book that I was reading, and I wanted to share that with y'all. So, some people read like a book at a time, which I think is just so nice and so cute. I would love to be able to do that. Cat, stop. I don't want to be friends with you right now. No. But I usually have 4 or 5 books going at the same time. One's like my fiction book that I just read during lunch and, when my brain can read but not really think much. And then I have sometimes like nonfiction book about, some sort of psychology, something or other. Sometimes I have a professional development book of, teaching or something like that. And then I usually have maybe another fiction book that's like fantasy or something like that. I've been reading a lot of YA, young adult fantasy books. So anyway, I just finished reading The Housemaid is Watching, which is the third book in a Frida McFadden series, the Housemaid series. And I know I am like behind the times on this. I know that I think it came out maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But I will be completely honest with you. Like, it just didn't hold my interest. The beginning of the book, and there's totally going to be spoilers. So if you haven't read it yet and you don't like spoilers, like, you can just stop watching right now. The beginning of the book was really slow. Like, there was a lot of stuff, background stuff, and I do know that some of her books are like that there's a lot like of build up, and then there's like more, kind of psychological thriller, murder mystery type deal stuff in the later parts. But this was definitely like, we were at like 65% before somebody died. And I'm not saying that like, someone needs to die for it to be interesting, but if you're talking about like a mystery thriller type book, like usually people are dying before 65% way through the book. And so I will say, like, the end of this book was very good. Like, there was stuff in there that I didn't expect. But yeah, like the beginning of it, it was slow. Um, there were parts of it that I was just like, do I really care enough to continue reading this? Or do I want to, like, you know, do not finish and let it go its own way. But I did finish. I finished it tonight, and the ending was definitely not what I expected. So thumbs up there. I will say it's kind of funny. There's a bit in there where the main character's daughter is talking about books, and she said, there's a series that I read, and the third book is never as good as the first two books. And I was just kind of like, are you apologizing? Are you trying to say, like, I'm aware? Or are you making a joke about, like, just, the third book in general? Because this was the third book in a series. So, and I know there's lots of Frida fans out there. I'm in a lot of different reading groups, and there's a lot of folks in there that were super excited when this book came out. And then you heard less and less from those people. So I'm not sure how most people felt about this third book, but it was definitely not out of the three of this series. And I only picked up the series because, everyone was saying, like, oh, it's so amazing. And so my brain's always like, okay, like, I want to check that out, and it was okay. I was entertained. But yeah, this third one was definitely not as entertaining as the first one. But yeah, you hear a lot fewer people talking about the series now. So I don't think that there will be a fourth one. If there is, I'm not sure that I will actually read it, because and so the next question is, like, what will my next fiction, like, read during lunch and continue to read later on book be? I haven't figured it out yet. If you have a good one for me, if you have a good suggestion for me, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. So yeah, that was my day. I'm exhausted. Even my toes hurt. And I finished reading The Housemaid is Watching. And it was pretty much a thumbs down. In the middle thumb, but mostly thumbs down.